program is rated GE, General Exhibition, suitable for all audiences.
A very big welcome to you. My name is Faith Mutunga. Karibu sana to this episode of Lifeline with Faith. My guest is here in studio. She's a pretty lady. She's an amazing woman. She's here to talk about internet trolling. But first, she has to introduce herself. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. My name is Sonia Ruth Kasamani. I'm a student at Marist International University, doing education in maths and business. I'm also a model and I love working with NGOs. Currently, I'm working with mental health organization and I'm hoping in future I might join an NGO dealing with education.
A big welcome.
Thank you so much.
Many times we've heard about internet trolling, and many times we ask ourselves, what is internet trolling? Sometimes we see people committing suicide because of cyberbullying. People attack others online, on internet, on WhatsApp groups, on Facebook. You've been through the same thing, yeah?
Yeah.
How was it like? And first, what is internet trolling?
Internet trolling is when someone decides to start a flame fire on social media, and mostly they usually comment in such a way that they want to amuse or like just to irritate you. Yeah.
And do you think this should be a topic of discussion for the whole world? Because like for the celebrities, yeah, ukisha kwa celeb, it's war on you. People start attacking you. People who don't know you start talking about you, trolling you on social media. What's your take on that?
We should really talk about it because currently we had a case of Lufuno, a child from South Africa who committed suicide because of that video that went viral. This is something that should be taken with much consideration and seriousness because it's costing a lot of our young souls.
And it's really bad.
Yes.
It's so sad.
So sad.
Is it something you've gone through?
Yes.
What was it about? You can share?
Okay, so the story is a bit long. I guess I have all the time.
Yeah, you do. Tell them. Inspire someone out there.
So it starts with like, I don't come from a well-off family. Yeah, so we were living like 6 members in a single room. So the condition wasn't so nice because we also had boys there mixed with girls in a single room. It was hectic. So when I completed my Form 4, I was 17 years. So I decided to hustle no matter my age. Kept looking for job, but because I didn't have an ID, I couldn't secure any good job. So I had to do these juakalis and all that. I decided to venture into acting. So I met someone and this guy promised to help me. So I thought like, oh, thank God, I've actually now find my salvation
Jackpot.
and all that. Yeah, so jackpot is there. So I said, let me give it a try. So this guy wanted a companion. Okay, I agreed to do everything that he asked me. And in exchange, I just only asked for 20K. I was still young. My mind was not that mature.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I get 20K, I can start selling handbags for ladies. And with time, I'll open my own complex, which will have clothes and all that. And I had so much dreams and ambition. So, but this guy never fulfilled the promise. So I followed him. We talked on WhatsApp and I started hearing stories because he had posted my picture with him. And so most people knew that we were dating and all that. So they inboxed me.
But was that the case? Were you guys dating?
No, it was just a situationship or something like that. So
for money?
Yeah.
To start up a business because he promised you 20,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they started inboxing me and telling me, hey, your guy keeps inboxing us, asking us for sex. And I was like, gosh, I didn't know this guy is like this. So he had a girlfriend, though he was calling her a wife. I inboxed the wife because I had the number and I told her, you should stop your husband. This behavior is not good. And now from the way people are inboxing me and telling me the way he's texting them, I think he's manipulating girls and using them and lying to them that he'll give them money.
Yeah.
And he's just using them. So I just went with my own chores. I thought maybe this woman will feel the pain and do something about it.
Yeah.
But instead, when I usually chat in the evening, so during the day I'm busy with my chores. So when I opened my phone, I started getting messages, a lot of messages, and some of my friends were inboxing me, telling me that we can't believe this is happening. No, Sonia, this is not you. I think this guy is using your name in a bad way. I don't know. Some were asking, is this true? Some were like, no, like defending me, and I was wondering what's going on. So I found that they had created a new page, a new WhatsApp group. They added me, and it had a lot of messages.
Wow.
So I became like flabbergasted. I didn't know what's going on. So I just decided, okay, let me check this new WhatsApp message,
what it is about.
So I found someone was asking, and it was that guy. He inboxed in those groups that you were sharing, the common groups that you were, and he was saying, with this Sonia, prostitute and a con artist, where is she? So I wondered, guy, where did all this come from? So when I went to that group that they had created, some people were backing him and saying, yeah, Sonia should show up herself and all that. Some were saying, I think these people are just trying to create celebrity in here, or some were just laughing about it and all that. But to my point of view, it was so hurting, and it was like they're spoiling my name, which is not good. So I decided to go inbox, and they were saying I should come and defend myself so that they could hear the both sides of the story. So I decided, I know the truth, and it's the truth that I'll stand for. So I inboxed, and I just said, this guy promised to help me. I never knew that the hand that I thought it will help me is the one that's going to bite me. And I just completed there. So people came to realize by themselves that this guy is actually the bad one. So I just removed myself from the group, but the guy kept on following me, and he added me again, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Don't you have any other work to do? I think me and you now, it's over, because if you had to take me to a situation like this, then I don't think there's anything that I'll continue with you. Let me just put all this in the past and just start afresh and move on with my life. So he added me, but now people came and started attacking him because they realized the stupidity that he had, and all that. So
they're all experience. What did it do to you?
So the depression, it wasn't really a good experience, because it reached a point whereby I had to isolate myself from my family and just stay with strange people. So just to hide, I felt like I need to hide from the world, everything that's going on, because I thought like no one can even understand. So in that period, no one could contact me, because I removed the SIM card from my phone. So the only thing that were in my phone were just books that talked about mental health, depression, and all that. So I would read books and meditate, and all that for like 2 months. And that's when I felt like now I'm energized to go out there. So, and also after that incident happened, it made me feel like I've lost value as a woman. So getting into a relationship, I had that low self-esteem. So I never knew how to value myself. So I was just abused in relationships and all that. And some guys will date me, and they like pity me, and they look at me and say, you're beautiful and everything, but you just look like you have lost hope. So I even sat back and decided, I want to be a stripper. So I'll just be going there, strip, and just as long as I hide my face. Because I don't think there is anything of value with me. Because I've just become valueless as a woman. So I remember there was this girl who usually advertised jobs. So he said, okay, you want 2 strippers for 24 hours, pay is this, the pay was good. I inboxed, but something in my mind is like, do you think your conscience can handle? And I'm like, okay, I was waiting for this opportunity, let me just go for it, but God is who. she told me, no, we've already gotten people. And I was like, I wasn't even 100% sure that I want this job. So yeah, such stuff, at least I find myself like, I want to get into this, but at least I'm saved. I want to get into this, but at least I'm saved. Yeah, so that thing, it really affected my relationship life. Yeah, that I now even I don't consider it that important.
Wow.
I'm like, let me just concentrate with maybe professional and education.
Heal
and just-
first, make your life better.
Yeah.
And so you wanted to be a nightclub stripper so you could run away from your reality.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things which you thought by doing them you'll be running away from your reality, and maybe it will make you feel better about yourself?
Just working in club. I was like, no, I should just be hiding in club, and maybe even start being alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just live a very private life, which no one needs to get into that circle. Yeah, and that is no good, because considering what I'm pursuing and all that, I'm a role model. Yeah, and so those stuff would have just ruined me completely. It's a good thing that I didn't get into them. So some of my lecturers, though they don't know my story or anything, but they would talk to me and tell me, there are some things which you do, they will cost you so much in your future. It's better off if you just don't do them. This sacrifice that you're making now, you may think it's much, but it cannot be compared with the devastating effects that will come in your future if you don't choose the correct things to do. Yeah, so those statements, they will ring in my mind, I'll try my best to always make the correct choices.
Wow.
And obvious, with the help of God, you cannot say that you're moving mechanically on your own.
God is faithful.
Yeah.
And was there a change in your esteem? Did it come low, or what happened to your self-esteem?
My self-esteem became so low, very low. And yeah, I just think that I still even need time, so I could empower myself before I even start saying I'm empowering others out there.
Yeah.
It came to me in a very overwhelming way that I felt like committing suicide. So I took some pills, and it was on a Sunday. I went to church and I said, God, I'm just going to listen to the last word that you're going to say before I commit suicide. And I had promised myself that in that washroom of our church, that's where I'm going to commit suicide, just in the environment of your place. So when I went to church, the preacher was about to start preaching, but she felt like a heavy heart that she can't continue preaching. So she told the congregation, we need to pray. There's someone in here which some spirit is pushing her to commit suicide. So we need to pray for that person. So they started praying. I felt like that mind of committing suicide is going, but again, it's just stuck on me. No, you need to end this pain. You cannot live like this. This thing is going to come back to you in future. You need just end it. So the preacher wanted to start preaching, but again she said, no, I feel like it hasn't moved. So they prayed again. And finally, I felt like my heart was relieved.
Wow.
I'm now at peace. And it was an awesome feeling, like a fresh start. Yeah. And since that day, it was just a turning point to me. And it made me so strong. Yeah, like nothing can make me go back to that same situation. Yeah, I had a new life in me. And it was just awesome. Our God is real. He speaks through many ways. We just have to listen and believe in him.
Wow, it's a very powerful story, Sonia. You're really a strong woman.
Thank you.
And I really hope you're not going to go back to where you used to be. You really have to work hard, yeah?
Yeah.
There's no shortcut to this life. Yeah. Why do you think the internet troll people?
They just want to irritate you. Maybe they have their own problems, like they have they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So they decide to like push it to some other people, through their anger and all that. So maybe they could just transfer whatever they're feeling inside.
They are fighting their own issues, which they transfer to your life.
Yes.
Which is a bad thing. Yeah.
Very bad.
Are there any other reasons why they troll others?
Mostly it's just to irritate people.
And make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to Lifeline with Faith. You're going on a very, very short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome to Lifeline with Faith. This is a show where we bring the best to you. We talk about business tips, entrepreneurship, health, mental issues affecting our youth. We mainly focused on the youth. What is really affecting the youth? What are the issues which are affecting the youth, and how can we tackle them? We'll talk about healthy eating tips, lifestyle tips. It's gonna be an amazing show. It's gonna be a wonderful show. We'll talk about the Word of God, having really great people on the show, discussing great topics which would like you to know. People perish due to lack of knowledge, and that's why Lifeline with Faith is here to bring to you home what is best for you, what's best for your soul, through wonderful stories, survival stories of people who survived something great, stories of God, how God is an aspect point of our life, and many more. Stay tuned to Lifeline with Faith. See you then. I'm your host, Faith Mutunga. Welcome back to Lifeline with Faith. It's been a very amazing show here we have in studio. It's on fire. I'm sure you're really getting inspired. My guest is still here in studio, Sonia.
Yes.
So after you've gone to church and your soul got healed, how did you cope after that? Do you still get the flashbacks? Do you still regret of whatever you did?
The good thing is that I have nice friends. So some of them, they just stick with me. They help me with my new life, starting over and all that. And also, my parents have been helpful. I managed to move out and start living by myself, regardless of my young age, because I wasn't comfortable with the situation at home. And I'm coping even with my studies. We are trying, and God is there always for us. Whenever my parents get something, they always support me, and myself, I also go look for jobs, and doors are opening, by the way, so I get gigs. I manage myself with it.
So you have a great support system. And after the incident happened, did you have some friends leave your back? Did you have some friendships end?
So some ended, like we rarely talk anymore. But most people, they stick with me. I guess.
And they stuck by your side. And how does that make you feel, the fact that some ran away from your life?
I'd shocked that they were never true friends. And one key thing that I can say, they never knew me. Because those who stuck with me, they actually know me, and they know, like, that's why they supported me. They were like, no, there's something good with this girl, and this girl just wants to ruin it. So those who left, they never knew me, and they were not my true friends.
And Sonia, I'd like to understand one thing. The whole incident was definitely a sad one. What can you advise an internet troll there who keeps on cyberbullying people, who keeps on, they are called keyboard warriors. Every time they're like, Sonia, you are a what? How can you tell them?
When you get confronted with such things of cyberbullying and trolling, you should always unmask them. Some, they usually use fake accounts. Because they are afraid of you, so they can't face you directly. So unmask them. A good thing I usually follow Michelle Talami. So there was this woman who was using her account to sell products and all that, and she was abusing the customers. So Michelle unmasked her, and now that will put an end to that person. And also, you can reveal the facts. Like for what I did, I revealed the facts and people were able to see in between the lines. And now this troller, because he couldn't fight the truth for long,
That's true.
so he was finished.
The truth will always come out no matter what. Looking back at your life, what would you wish you did differently?
I learned that if someone truly loves you, you don't need to give anything for you to get something in return. Always value yourself and let that person prove their love to you.
And there are young girls there who feel like I have to give out my body to get some favors. I have to pass through a shortcut to get a gig. I have to do 1, 2, 3 to get those favors. What can you tell them?
God's timing is the best. You don't need to force anything. It will just work out at its timing. Yeah. So they really don't have to, because they are actually going to regret. And if they decide, let this one pass, if I just have to sell my body to get it, let it pass, they will have some fulfillment in themselves later on. Yeah. Maybe
some people feel like it's the right thing to do at the moment, but later they tend to regret. Yeah. What are some of the effects of making the wrong decisions at a younger age?
You will always live trying to hide your past. So you feel like you won't live your fulfilled life.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you'll be scared. What if one day it comes out? So if you just want to live a fulfilled life, just use the straight way.
And I sort of feel like you'll always be running from your reality.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you made some wrong decisions, like you gave out your body, then these men are just, they'll go talk about you, they'll troll you like you were trolled, and it's a sad thing. Yeah. What can you do to these young girls to make sure they grow up upright, they grow up making the right decisions? Is there any way you can help them by maybe funding mentorship summits, maybe going to talk to them, offering counseling services to them? What can you do to them? Or what can the society do to help them?
Yeah, about the society, charity begins at home. Parents should actually sit with their kids most of the time and talk to them. You need to do that explanation, but most parents are running away from it.
Yeah, that's true.
You need to always explain to the kid, the situation is like this and it's because of this. And let's accept it the way it is. If you want to change, okay, how do you want to change it? Let me support you. Always be there for them. And also, those mentorship forums, they'll be effective. Yeah, because not most parents are that educated to sit with their children to know what the children go through and all that. Now, peer counseling, it will come in hand.
Yeah.
And I think it will have a great impact to our young kids.
That's true. And your story has been so inspiring, and I'm sure someone out there might be going through the same, or maybe someone might go through the same at some point of their lives. What can you tell them? How can they cope with internet trolling?
In case you are a victim of internet trolling, just follow the advice that I've told you. Always stand by the truth, and just the good thing with social media, it usually have those what are they called, rules and regulations, that if someone will speak negative about something, there are some regulation that they are actually going to be punished and all that. So that's a good thing. And as an individual, just follow what I talked about earlier, and always seek counseling. Don't just sit by yourself, because now it will lead to suicide like Bufuno. Yeah, talk to someone. They're willing to hear and help you. Yeah, just open up.
And it's also a crime to troll someone, to cyberbully.
Those people should be punished.
Yeah, they should be punished. And have you ever talked to your parents about your story?
I guess even they'll be hearing it as a surprise.
Oh God. And do you think the way our parents have raised us make us feel like we are not supposed to open up? We are supposed to have that closure in us. We are not supposed to be open about anything. Do you think so? Because we fear that they may judge us. We fear that they may maybe abandon us. They may judge us. What do you think?
I usually feel like they may judge us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but though they usually assure me that that's never the case, but
Still, there's something.
Yeah, and most of the time, a lot of people usually tell me, talk to your parents. But I think that's hard for me. I don't know why.
I understand. And concerning your story, have you completely healed?
Yes.
You've completely healed.
Yeah.
And there's no going back.
There's no going back.
Wow. Okay, now after you've talked about your story, there comes a moment where maybe you see this person, you see these friends who left your side, these friends who maybe were trolling you on the WhatsApp group. Do you feel anything like sort of revenging?
Not really. Most probably, these friends were acquaintances. They weren't my best friends. Yeah, so it didn't affect me that much. Yeah, my best friend, they stuck with me. So the acquaintances are the ones who left. So it didn't bother that much.
And that's what matters.
Yeah.
We are going on a very short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome to Lifeline with Faith. This is a show where we bring the best to you. We talk about business tips, entrepreneurship, health, mental issues affecting our youth. We mainly focused on the youth. What is really affecting the youth? What are the issues which are affecting the youth, and how can we tackle them? We'll talk about healthy eating tips, lifestyle tips. It's gonna be an amazing show. It's gonna be a wonderful show. We'll talk about the Word of God, having really great people on the show discussing great topics which would like you to know. People perish due to lack of knowledge, and that's why Lifeline with Faith is here to bring to you home what is best for you, what's best for your soul, through wonderful stories, survival stories of people who survived something great, stories of God, how God is an aspect point of our life, and many more. Stay tuned to Lifeline with Faith. See you then. I'm your host, Faith Mutunga. This is Lifeline with Faith. Stay tuned. Sonia, you say that you're a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
And this show is all about educating, entertaining, inspiring. You can motivate our audience a little bit.
Thank you for that opportunity. I want to inspire someone out there, and I'll just like to say one word, and that is always keep the faith. If you want to graduate but you're facing a lot of challenges in college and all that, just keep the faith. You're there out looking for a job, you haven't found one, just keep the faith. You want to start a business, you don't have a capital, just keep the faith. Your time is coming. I mean, you're almost there. Don't give up. And the word says, I can't quote the exact one Bible verse, but it says, if you keep my words, I will fulfill your heart's desire. And God is not man. He always keeps his promises. Let's always believe in him and keep the faith.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, going through your story, we have to make sure that no other person goes through the same. We have to make sure that this will be a topic of discussion. We need to encourage open conversations. We need to do something for the society. What are some of the things that you think should be done?
Social media has now become a major tool of communication, and most people are trending, most businesses are booming through social media. That is the best platform we should start with. Let's start live Zoom meetings talking about these trollings and cyberbullying, and let the victim come and even report those people who actually victimized them, so that we should stop this thing in our society. Yeah, we shouldn't like say Hornbill's problem is Hornbill's problem and let the victims suffer by themselves, because that's not good. you never know, it might be you next,
Mm-hmm.
and you won't feel nice if nobody will care about you.
Yeah.
So let's start those Zoom meetings. Yeah, we will be hosting some live events, talking about it, and helping those victims to maybe move on if they haven't, and also to stop those guys who cyberbully others.
And also we can do mentorship summits.
Yes.
Yes. Through your whole experience, what did this whole experience do to you? How was that moment? The moment you enter into your WhatsApp and it's all about Sonia. How was that moment?
It was terrifying. Even when I was replying the messages, just my hands were shaking. I was like, yeah, it was so terrifying. I just remember that moment like yesterday. I mean, I just took the phone. I'm there. What should I say? Should I just keep quiet and just log out of WhatsApp or what? But I said, no, I just have to stay strong and defend my name. Yeah, I usually say I'm weak, but my dad keeps saying, you're strong.
So many thoughts were running through your mind.
Yeah, so I just decided, okay, let me just speak the truth and let it fight for me. Yeah,
like this has happened, I have to run through with it.
Yes.
And what did this experience do to you? Maybe did it lead to any sort of depression, any anger issues? What did it do to you?
It led to depression, because to reach to that point that I want to commit suicide, now I was depressed. I always had that fear. What if it comes back again? So I just kept questioning myself too much. Why is this all happening to me? And all that. I started blaming myself at some point. That's why I even didn't want to share it with my parents. I was like, maybe they'll also blame me.
Yeah.
So I just decided to, okay, let me swallow this bitter pill by myself. Okay, but opening up actually taught me a lot. Yeah, that's it's not actually with the problem and all that.
Yeah,
and
you're not the problem.
Yes. And so it helped me to overcome these fears, and now I feel so much stronger. Yeah, and like, you can't trick me again. I know all the tricks.
Yeah,
now I'm the coach. I'm the coach, and you are the player. And just watching. No trick can actually trick me now.
And do you feel like you had to go through the experience to become a better person?
I cannot say so, but it was part of it making me to be a better person. You know, future is expectant. That's what they say.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. You never know what you're going to face. But the past has actually taught me how to face such things if they happen in future. Yes.
So it was better that you went through it.
Yeah.
And that it will not happen again.
Yeah. It has taught me a lesson, and I took the lesson. And I think I can now deal with the situation if it happens in future. And also, it has made me at least to realize that I can also talk to someone who is going through the same and help them manage, because I managed, so that at least we'll reduce that case of lufuno, of killing yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And after the whole experience, after you went to church, you were preached to, and the idea of committing suicide was was over. From then, how did you cope? Now it's the church is not in this. How did you cope? Did you go to counseling? Did you go to how did you cope?
Sometimes I usually seek counseling, but I have a friend, we haven't known each other for long, but just the few moments that I've stayed with him, it has been so helpful. So never be afraid of talking. You never know, maybe that person who you're fearing to talk to is actually the one who is going to help you. So talking to that person has really helped me. And it even erased all the fears that I had.
And looking at you, you're so young, so passionate. Who do you look up to? Maybe in the line of modeling, maybe in the line of entrepreneurship. You're doing education, right? Who do you look up to?
Okay.
And why?
Oh, That's a nice question. I didn't expect it. Okay. I also have a dream of becoming an entrepreneur. So the first person that I'm looking up to is our own Kenyan, Michelle Ntalami.
Yeah.
And the second person that I look up to is Miss Universe of 2001.
Wow, that's when it comes to modeling, right?
Yes. Oh, so this woman is just everything. She's an actress, she's a model, she's an entrepreneur, and she always talk about women independency. I think that's a topic that should be embraced.
Yeah.
Yeah, women independency. Yeah, it's time that women actually learn how to depend on themselves. It will help them from a lot of troubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's my role model.
Wow. And looking at your life now and in the next 5 years, what do you think you'll be in the next 5 years? Maybe when it comes to your career life, when it comes to mentoring our women empowerment concerning trolling or concerning the people who think they have to get favors so they can make it in life. Where do you see yourself?
Okay, I see myself in an NGO dealing with education. Yeah, because the first step of empowering a woman is making sure that they are educated.
Yeah.
And also in that same line as a model now, I'll be standing for women independency. Like I'll be stepping in that shoes of Miss Universe and so to continue with that trend of teaching women how to be independent. Yeah, and also maybe giving them funds to start a business. Yeah.
May your dreams come true.
Thank you.
You mentioned something to do with your parents being your biggest support system. How can you say your parents have supported you?
You know, my dad is a church guy. Yeah. So he, as much as sometimes I move out of the way, like I lost my way as I grew up and faced the challenges of teenage and early youth, he will talk to me and tell me, hey, my daughter, you have really changed. I actually don't know what's going on with you, but I just hope you are just keeping in the right way. Yeah, sometimes he will caution me, and he always sends me quotes of prayers. Yeah, always calling me, hey, my daughter, what have you eaten today? And all that, trying to engage me in conversation to know how I'm faring, and at least that gives me hope. Yeah, they're so loving. I can assure you of that. And whatever little they have, they always support, and that encourages me even to make them proud each day.
And what can you tell any other parent out there? How do they treat their teenagers? How do they treat their youth? How can they treat them?
You should, you know, that phase of teenage and early youth is the moment that your kids need your love and affection. Yeah, so much. Because if you don't give them, they're going to look for it out there.
True.
And the world is cruel.
It's a cruel world.
Yeah, so they will face so many bad people who will just be hiding in skins, and pretending to love them and all that. And when it comes back to them that all this was a lie, it's going to hurt them so much. So this is the time that they should give them a lot of affection. Yeah, so that they won't have to look for that affection out there.
Wow. And what's the biggest thing that you can say you learned from your story?
It's good to talk to your parents. Yeah, they are always want to help with whichever means they can. Yeah, so just be frank with them, because even if you act like you don't want to acknowledge them, you'll lose their blessing, first of all. And if you don't have your parents' blessing, you don't think there's anywhere you're going out there.
Yeah, that's true.
So even if you feel like they'll judge you or what, and now you just want to hate them, just be cautioned. Always talk to your parents. Just be frank. They're your parents. I mean, they're the ones who raised you. they know you well. Yeah.
And what are you really doing to make sure that this young person, this old person, or anyone out there will not go through the same experience you went through?
Yeah, I always talk to some girls that are in my circle, and when I see that they're making bad decision, I'll advise them, because I know I'm talking from experience. So I always talk to them, and the advice, when they take it, it's usually helpful. Some they usually come back and say, hey, for real, what you told me, I followed it and I've seen the fruits.
Wow. Oh, Sonia, you're an amazing woman. You're a strong woman. And I really wish you all the best. May your dreams come true. May you be this one person who will empower women, like you said. You will inspire a lot of people. You will inspire nations through your story, maybe through your greatness, through everything you put your hands to. Thank you so much for coming, Sonia.
Welcome.
May God bless you.
God bless you.
This has been Lifeline with Faith. Until next time, see you then.